Good morning, good morning. Big Weir, roadtoroota.com with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of coffee. Article today on Zero Hedge about who that mysterious Bitcoin buyer was. What they're talking about is as Bitcoin Cash was going up almost almost without any stops, somebody jumped in and bought a whole bunch of Bitcoin as it was going down. BTC versus BCH, we've all heard the arguments. But here's supposedly the one guy who stopped the fall of Bitcoin. Interesting. Mysterious Bitcoin dip buyer identified amid the cataclysmic collapse of Bitcoin late on Friday night. The cryptocurrency suddenly saw a large buyer step in as prices plummeted below $6,000. We now have an idea who that buyer of last resort was. As a result of a giant publicity effort from its proponents, Bitcoin Cash saw massive investment as it heads towards a potentially contentious hard fork set for just after 7 p.m. GMT today. The failure of SegWit 2x, coupled with endorsement from the soon-to-be defunct Bitcoin Classic team Mint, BCH became the major competitor to Bitcoin over the weekend. But as Reuters reports, former Fortress macro hedge fund manager Mike Novogratz, who is most recently profiled here, told Reuters Global 2018 Investment Outlook Summit in New York that he bought $15 to $20 million worth of Bitcoin over the weekend in that recent pullback. The billionaire says his crypto fund Galaxy Investment Partners owns Bitcoin, Ethereum, and many other companies and coins. The institutionalization of the space is coming. It's coming pretty quick. I agree with a lot of that. I don't quite agree that this guy's telling the truth. You know, he's a hedge fund manager. His job is to lie, cheat, and steal. But hey, more power to him. It doesn't. He never really, when he talks about why he bought Bitcoin versus Bitcoin Cash versus any other of the cryptos, he doesn't really get into why. You know, he thinks Bitcoin will always be Bitcoin, and I think, well, there's a competition going on between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, and I think the one that is most useful will win, obviously. But that's the way it is. So this guy saved Bitcoin from falling farther. Again, if you own Bitcoin prior to August 1st and you own it in your own wallet, in your own possession, then you own both Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. So you're going to win either way, and any other forks that come out of it. Yeah, it's a great place to be. But if you bought after August 1st, you're gonna have to pick between which one's going to win. Not win, you know, they can both do well. They can both do extremely well, Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. One might even take Bitcoin Cash does really well, and Bitcoin BTC, the classic BTC, falls away. They might change the handle to Bitcoin BTC. Remember, this is just the exchanges that put these monikers on them, the trading, the 3 letters or 4 letters. So they decided to put the core developers Bitcoin. They called it BTC after the split, and Bitcoin Cash, where they split into 8 megabyte blocks, is BCH. They were going to do BCC, but that was taken by BitConnect, the Ponzi scheme. Yes, it is absolutely a little complicated out there. Hang in there, though. If you're looking to invest, there's so many more better places to put your money. Incredibly better places to put your money, that you don't have to deal with the battles between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. If you really want to buy Bitcoin, I would buy both Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash in equal amounts. Because combined, their market cap currently is, almost $8,000 market cap. And that's how I value Bitcoin. Bitcoin is Bitcoin plus Bitcoin Cash would be the price of Bitcoin. And that's how I valued it in my report that I sent out the other day on my estimates of what's going to happen next year with prices. So it'll be a combination of Bitcoin plus Bitcoin Cash plus any other fork that happens in the Bitcoin space. All right, but like I said, there's a lot of great investments out there. Ethereum is is moving strong. I mean, I love Ethereum, and the future holds very interesting things for all these new ICO companies that have come out in the last year or so, because it's kind of like Ethereum. When the product is ready to be implemented, that's when the true value of these companies burst through. So when Ethereum was implemented and the DAO mess was over with, the true value of Ethereum as a platform to build businesses on grew and grew and grew, and Ethereum went from $5 or $6 to $300 in a matter of, I think it was a matter of a week or two. And that's very exciting because that's what's going to happen to these company ICOs, the good companies if you pick the right ones. Very important. And Litecoin is strong and steady. I do think Litecoin will be seen as one of the premier, if not the premier, cryptocurrency. So I see great things for Litecoin. Charlie Lee's doing everything in the world to make his product cheaper and faster. And that's what humanity needs as these banks start to collapse. So very excited. You got to have some Litecoin in your portfolio. But some of the companies that are coming to market, I'd say Amizigo definitely is one of the potentials. So it has the potential to go from $7.55 right now to $300 type of thing. That's not an analysis at all, but it's companies that their products are coming on board, and we can see what is going to happen. Everybody in the crypto space will start running towards those companies that are going to produce a product that works. And when everybody in the crypto space starts running towards a certain area, when the whole crowd tries to funnel in and buy Amizigo, that's when you have your monster moves. And like I said, you're investing in the Facebooks and the Googles and the Amazons of the world in the blockchain space. A couple that I am just beyond excited about. One of the main ones is Populous PPT. They have an alpha of their product coming in. So if you go over to the populous.co website, you can sign in and you can register to be an investor or a borrower on this site. But they have this thing. You sign into your account. That's me right there, and it gives you their alpha version of what the product is going to look like. You can mess around with it. It's really cool. So you go to populous.co, you sign in, you can mess around. You don't give them any Ethereum to play with or anything like that, or this is just a mock-up, the alpha version. But you get an idea of what the product of this company is. So you can check out your portfolio. You can check out the market for loans, which is right here. A lot of the people just look at these returns. You get 5%, you get 12% with that one, and go through the Populous white paper and figure out if it's for you, if it's not for you, because you can be a lender or a borrower, and that's the key. And the same with Salt is doing that too, or in the process of doing that. Salt also has a lockup period they could be working on. So there's a lot of things that will come out of these companies because everybody knows these banks are dying off. The banks are criminal. The banks charge too much. The blockchain takes all the costs out and can give it back to investors. So Populous is going to be a monster crypto. And you can see that. I mean, it's up 20% right now. I think it's up, I don't know what it's up for 7 days. It's like 50%. I mean, it's moving because people get a sniff. They're getting a sniff of, you know what? I think those ICOs that we invested in 6 months ago, 12 months ago, I think some of them, their products are about to be released. So I want to get in on this action before the herd gets in. And that's what's happening with some of them whose products will be released in the next 2, 3, 4 months. And Populous is one of those. Salt is going to be a monster. As I've said many times, it is a bridge between the old system and the new system. Salt is collateral-backed loans, and you get a loan in fiat money, and you put up your cryptocurrency as collateral. And it's not just Bitcoin and Ethereum. Everyone's like, oh, it's just Bitcoin and Ethereum. No. Anything traded on the Shapeshift wallet, because Eric Voorhees, the creator of Shapeshift, is on the board of Salt, giving it massive amounts of credibility and massive amounts of potential to do new things. So yeah, Salt should have their first loans available by the end of the year. I'm not going to hold the fire to them because it's end of year's coming up. So I would say before the first quarter ends, because this is extremely, extremely important that the product is sound when it comes out, because the bankers, they might not like salt all that much. They like the fact that they can put money in and have the collateral perfected so that it's very easy. It's a kind of no risk for them, that as long as their program works, that they will get paid back. So the more the less risk for the banks, the lower the interest rate. So obviously at the beginning the interest rates are going to be pretty high because it's a brand new thing. As people see that hey, it works, the way the shortfall works and the collateral coverage works is all via smart contracts. If it does work, you're going to see more and more banks come in and say, hey, I want a piece of that, and then the interest rates will go down over time. And I also hear they're going to put in a pool where you can lend to people borrowing. You can lend your cryptos that get. I'm not exactly sure how they're going to do it on the lending side, because it would be lending cash to people. So you probably have to sell your cryptos to lend cash. Not sure how they're going to do that, but all that will be rolling out soon, and that's the key. So these companies that are first to market, as in their products are coming out, are absolutely going to be like funneling all this money through this little hose to get into these companies that are about to produce a product. And that's the way I'm kind of shifting my portfolio right now. The longer term stuff that I love, it's going to take a while for them to, the price of their token to go crazy. But the things that are coming to market now, and if they work, if they fail, you can kiss it goodbye. It's a very high risk type of investment. But if they are successful, and nothing is perfect all the time, there'll be glitches and software issues and upgrades and all that stuff will be happening. And I'm not concerned about that, so it will be very volatile. But literally, it will be funneling all these billions and billions of dollars of the current money in the crypto space, plus all the new money coming in, trillions of dollars coming in, funneled into this little tiny funnel, and there you have Populous and Salt and these companies that are producing a product in the early days of this sea change of where our economy is going. So I'm excited about all this stuff, and some of these smaller tokenized companies are really starting to, people are starting to get a sniff that something huge is about to happen. And then let's not forget, speaking of huge, Veritasium is going to go ape shit. I can say ape shit on YouTube, I believe, because Veritasium is going to take the place of the criminal banksters. Veritasium is a peer-to-peer marketplace. The criminal banksters use the exchanges, and that's their minefield, and that's where they rig things. That's where they cause all this trouble with rehypothecation of shares. Every single day on the New York stock market, over 300 million shares are not delivered. They're called failure to delivers, FTDs, meaning no shares exchanged, no contracts exchanged, no change of ownership, and no money is paid. It's because it's a end of day settlement type thing. They're supposed to, all these brokerage houses are supposed to settle at the end of the day. They never do. So you get the churn and churn and churn and churn. As long as the music keeps playing, these guys can continue to mess with you. In the Veritasium model, you can't do that. It's peer-to-peer exchanges. There is no exchange. There's no bankster and brokers extracting wealth from humanity. So Veritasium, that's going to be the big monster. It's in Cliff's data also that it does better than Bitcoin. Imagine that. $76 right now. Yeah, the sky's the limit for Reggie. And apparently, in Cliff's data, it has literally countries coming to Reggie and Veritasium saying, we need the truth and honesty that you can inject into our markets. So you're talking the United States and China and Japan and European countries, and any market you can inject Veritasium to. I think Reggie's starting with the big mothers, the big whales. So they're going to get into it first because it extracts all kinds of costs that the banksters were injecting needlessly. That's why Goldman Sachs pays out multi-million-dollar bonuses to almost every employee in their whole company, because they extract wealth from every transaction. And that's what Reggie's going to stop. Anyway, yeah, very exciting times for the cryptos. The whole world will be getting into them very soon. So If you're worried about, oh my God, I'm so late to the party. No, you're not late to the party. If you've been listening to me for the last couple of years, you're one of the tiny, tiny, tiny percentile who's in this. The party starts when the old system breaks down further, and then the crypto world is seen as an alternative. That's when the party starts, and that's what Cliff High has coming in as data for the February timeframe. So you got a couple months away. You've got plenty of time to invest in the cryptos, and don't freak out if it drops 50% or jumps 100%. Don't run out and sell it and say, "Hey, I made money," because you're going to miss out on the future. And this really is a change at some point in the next few years. Everything from the old system is going to move to the new system. Everything. Hundreds of quadrillions of dollars. Even the derivative market will move over to a blockchain alternative. Which, they don't really coincide well, because derivative markets are usually cloaked in secrecy because there's so much criminality going on, and the blockchain technologies strive to be more open and opaque so that everybody can see what is happening, so you can't cheat. Anyway, very exciting times for the cryptos. As far as the Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, I would guess that Bitcoin Cash is more useful. Bitcoin has the name and has the it's got whatever. That's why I got out of it, is because I really don't know which is going to win, and but I do know that other things will win, like Litecoin, like Vertasium, like Populous, like Salt, in my opinion, in my analysis. And so if I've got this complete unknown over here with Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash and whatever else forks from it, and then complete knowns over here where Litecoin and Populous, Salt, Vertasium, you can go down the list, are really close to releasing products. Some of those or announcements. Supposedly there's going to be a Litecoin announcement somewhere around Christmas, according to Cliff High's hint. He didn't want to say anything, but I believe Litecoin is due for a big pop. Charlie Lee is working on a lot of things, including the Lightning Network, atomic swaps, all kinds of exciting stuff for Litecoin. So that is your Horn of Z's for this morning. You guys be safe out there, and I will talk to you later.